Have you ever wondered what it takes to truly rise above life's challenges? What if I told you that the greatest power lies not in fighting back, but in how we choose to respond to those who hurt us? Imagine for a moment that the best revenge isn't revenge at all. In today's world, where every emotion is tested and every decision is under scrutiny, there's a simple truth we often overlook. Your peace of mind is your most powerful weapon. But how can we unlock this power? How can we turn the pain of the past into wisdom for the future? Stay with me, because the words of Alfred Tennyson, a master of insight, might just change your entire perspective. They'll challenge you, awaken you, and, most importantly, help you understand how to truly live a life of strength, integrity, and peace. So how do we shift from merely surviving life's trials to thriving through them? How do we turn the hurt into strength and the silence into wisdom? Let's dive into Alfred Tennyson's timeless words that reveal the true power of response, and why ignoring those who hurt you might just be the most powerful choice you can make. Keep watching, because the answer might surprise you. True self-growth begins when we stop chasing perfection in others and start seeking those who inspire us to become better. Don't choose the best person, choose the person who makes you better. This wisdom reminds us that the right relationships aren't built on admiration, but transformation. Once inspired, we must take daily action toward improvement. Improve your today to improve your tomorrow. Growth isn't a future event, it's a present commitment. Each small effort we make today shapes the quality of our future self, but real evolution lies beyond our comfort zones. Try to do what you can't do. It's in these uncomfortable stretches that hidden strength emerges. Every step into the unfamiliar builds confidence and reveals potential we didn't know we had. Seeing yourself improve is one of the best feelings. It's not pride, it's a deep satisfaction that fuels further progress. And through it all, we learn a powerful truth. Fulfillment begins within. You can live a good life by taking care of yourself. Self-care isn't selfish, it's the foundation of everything we give to the world. When we nurture our body, mind, and spirit, we become the kind of people who uplift others simply by existing. True confidence is more than just a feeling. It's a silent statement to the world. Self-confidence is an argument that tells the world how capable you are. When you walk with quiet certainty, you don't need to prove anything. Your presence alone speaks volumes, but without that inner trust, even the most talented person can feel lost. Without self-confidence, you are like a bird without wings. You may have the potential to soar, but fear and doubt will keep you grounded. Building self-confidence doesn't mean being loud or dominant. In fact, the strongest people often speak the least. Silence is the best answer to all questions. In a noisy world where everyone wants to be heard, silence is power. It reflects control, clarity, and depth. It's through stillness that true strength reveals itself. And in that silence, a different kind of magnetism arises. A person's silence makes them interesting. People are drawn to those who don't beg for attention, but instead carry a quiet mystery, one rooted in self-trust. Inner power doesn't scream, it radiates. And once you find that unshakable strength within, the world begins to treat you differently, because you have already started treating yourself differently. The true strength of the human mind doesn't come from noise or reaction. It comes from stillness. The power of the mind lies in peace. When your thoughts are calm, Your decisions are wiser, your perspective is clearer, and your actions more deliberate. But peace cannot exist without emotional control. Life constantly tests us with provocations, disappointments, and unexpected challenges. In those moments, keep your emotions under control, because emotions, when left unchecked, can sabotage our judgment and push us into regret. Anger, especially, is a dangerous visitor. It arrives swiftly, burning everything in its path. When anger comes, it comes alone. But when it leaves, it takes with it wisdom, morality, and beauty. That single emotional outburst can destroy relationships, trust, and even your self-image. What's lost in a moment of rage often takes a lifetime to rebuild. That is why mastering your emotions is not weakness, it's the highest form of intelligence. To remain calm when you have every reason to erupt, that is power, that is maturity, and that is the beginning of true inner freedom. When your mind is steady and your emotions serve you instead of control you, you begin to live not just smart, but wisely. In a world overflowing with noise, the wise choose silence not as weakness, but as strength. Silence is better than telling someone your heart's desire. What you share can be used against you. What you keep within becomes your power. Not every emotion or dream needs to be spoken. Some things are meant to grow quietly until they bloom. Likewise, secrets are sacred, and trust is rare. Never tell him your secret, unless you have a secret. When we reveal too much, we give others control over parts of us they never earned. True wisdom lies in knowing when to speak and when to hold back. And even when we listen, not all advice deserves our obedience. Listen to everyone's advice, but only act on the advice of someone who has achieved their goal. People speak from their own limitations, fears, or failures, but the words of someone who has walked the path carry a weight of experience. Wisdom is not just knowing what to say, it is knowing when to say nothing at all, and whose voice is worth hearing. In mastering our words and our silence, we become more than informed, we become wise. Life never promised to be easy, and in truth, life is very difficult, but it will be even more difficult if you are stupid. That doesn't mean a lack of intelligence, but rather the refusal to learn, adapt, or grow. Challenges will come, not to break us, but to shape us. In fact, obstacles come to those who believe they will reach their destination. The very presence of resistance is a sign that you're on a path worth walking. Struggles are not punishments, they are part of the price of progress. And yet, we often overlook this simple truth. You don't become strong until you go through difficult situations. Strength is not handed out freely. It is forged in moments of pain, pressure, and perseverance. Every fall, every failure, carries within it the seed of growth. That's why there is always a lesson behind every mistake. Those who reflect, learn, and rise again become wiser with each setback. Hardship isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. If you face it with humility and courage, it becomes the path to the best version of yourself. When someone hurts you, the natural instinct may be to strike back, but true strength lies in choosing not to. It is punishment enough for those who hurt you that you ignore them and smile. That silent confidence, the ability to carry on with grace, is more powerful than any act of revenge. It tells the world that their actions did not break you. Letting go doesn't mean weakness. It means you value your peace more than the chaos they tried to bring. Leave the one who hurts, but don't hurt the one who leaves. In this wisdom lies emotional maturity. the ability to walk away without carrying bitterness. You release them from your life without letting them take your kindness with them. And in this process, you rise. Yet many fall into the trap of resentment, choosing to gossip and backstab as a form of hidden vengeance. But backbiting is the last resort of a weak person. It reveals more about the speaker than the target. The higher road may be harder to walk, but it leads to peace, dignity, and strength. True victory is not in retaliation, but in showing that the pain never controlled you. True growth begins the moment you choose discomfort over ease. Always do what you find difficult. It is in those challenges that we stretch our limits and uncover hidden strength. Avoiding hard things may bring short-term comfort, but it also guarantees long-term stagnation. That's why making mindful choices is crucial. Don't accept something that will become a burden later. Many decisions may look appealing in the moment, but only wisdom can foresee the weight they might carry. Protecting your future peace starts with saying no to what doesn't align with your long-term values. Yet knowing isn't enough. Action is where transformation truly happens. Revolution is not an apple that falls by itself. You must shake the tree. Nothing worthwhile will simply land in your lap. Change, whether personal or societal, demands courage, intention, and effort. Those who wait for life to change on its own are left watching from the sidelines. But those who dare to shake the tree, who take risks, speak up, and act with purpose, are the ones who shape the world. In the end, living with clarity and conviction is not about comfort, it's about choosing the hard, right path that aligns with who you want to become. A society that turns its back on justice is a society walking toward chaos. Where justice is denied, people are not safe. When fairness is absent, fear takes its place, and no amount of wealth or development can make up for the loss of trust. Justice is the foundation of peace. It tells people their dignity is protected. Without it, even the innocent feel exposed. This imbalance often hits the most vulnerable, the hardest. Poverty makes a person a stranger in his own city. When someone can't afford basic needs, they are not just deprived, they are isolated, made invisible in the place they call home. True morality means creating a world where no one feels like an outsider in their own life. Yet the threat doesn't end with injustice or poverty. It multiplies when authority falls into the wrong hands. Giving power to the incompetent is a great sin. Leadership without wisdom destroys more than it builds. It not only fails to protect the people, but also breeds corruption and suffering for generations. A just society must not only care, but act. It must uplift the unseen, protect the innocent, and demand accountability from those in power. At the end of the day, life is not measured by what we accumulate, but by the peace we carry within. Every quote we've explored is not just a sentence, it's a doorway to self-reflection. It reminds us that silence holds more wisdom than argument, that true strength lies not in revenge, but in restraint, and that justice begins where compassion lives. For those of us who have walked through many seasons of life, these lessons are no longer abstract. They are lived experiences. Now is the time to pause, to look within, and ask, are we still learning? Are we still growing? Because age doesn't end our growth, it refines it. It teaches us what truly matters: dignity, patience, forgiveness, and the quiet power of integrity. So let this not be just another video. Let it be a mirror, and maybe even a turning point. If something in today's message touched you, don't just think about it. Share it. Reflect on it. Live it. because someone else might need these words just as much as you did.